Shalom, Mashpaka. I'm sorry I'm late. I was listening to the court case of what was going on with Jeffrey Williams and YSL. I know a lot of people, sometimes we forget where we came from. And we all came from different walks in life. That's why this message right here is called African Tribes Meeting. I think somebody need to call a meeting, so I'm calling the meeting. So I want y'all to come and sit up under the tree with me as I do this meeting with y'all. I'm just speaking metaphorically. Let's sit up under this tree together and do this meeting. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and play Isaiah. If you got your Bible, go ahead and turn it to Isaiah chapter 41, and you can read along with the audio. Alright, family, so here we go. Isaiah 41.
Then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east? Isaiah 41. Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near. Then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings? He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them, and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, the first, and with the last, I am he. The isles saw it, and feared. The ends of the earth were afraid, drew near, and came. They helped every one his neighbor, and every one said to his brother, Be of good courage. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer him that smote the anvil, saying, It is ready for the soldering. And he fastened it with nails, that it should not be moved. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree and the pine, and the box tree together, that they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come. Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooseth you. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come. From the rising of the sun shall he call upon my name. And he shall come upon princes as upon mortar, and as the potter treadeth clay. Who hath declared from the beginning that we may know, and before time that we may say he is righteous? Yea, there is none that showeth, yea, there is none that declareth, yea, there is none that heareth your words. The first shall say to Zion, Behold, behold then, and I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For I beheld, and there was no man, even among them, and there was no counselor that when I asked of them could answer a word. Behold, they are all vanity, their works are nothing, their molten images are wind and confusion.
Amen.
Deuteronomy
Now,
32.
Deuteronomy 32.
Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak. And hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord. Ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that hath bought thee? Hath he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. But Jeshurun waxed fat, and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee thou art unmindful. and hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischiefs upon them. I will spend mine arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword without, and terror within, shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of grey hairs. I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, Our hand is high, and the Lord hath not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, Where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revengers upon the enemy. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. And Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hoshea the son of Nun. And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all Israel. And he said unto them, Set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe to do, all the words of this law. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life, and through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whither ye go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord spake unto Moses that selfsame day, saying, Get thee up into this mountain Abarim, unto Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho. And behold the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount whither thou goest up, and be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother died in Mount Or, and was gathered unto his people. because ye trespassed against me among the children of Israel, at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I give the children of Israel.
Himself.
Speaking then of a group of people who through various means have acquired and maintained an empire, who maintain and exploit control over populations much larger than themselves. We heard a reference here tonight about this population being 5%, the white population here of the world, and about the total European population being about 10%, yet in control of 80% of the world's economic resources and in control of the other 90% of the world's populations. You're talking about empire then, ladies and gentlemen. And what does that imply? That means then you have a small population that is ruling over populations that are much, much, much larger than it is. And of course, we don't have time to talk about the psychology of this, but I've often indicated that this can only be possible when that small population maintains the larger populations in a state of false consciousness and in a state of deception. That this small population can only maintain control over those larger populations by outright lying and the falsification of reality.
So we see there that the elder was saying that this is what this thing is, what we living in. This is an empire. And the empire is built on the minority, not the majority. So if you see that an empire is built on a minority and not the majority, then the empire must not be built upon facts, because the majority are being disqualified and discounted, but the minority is the one that is being qualified and counted. So that is counterintuitive to say that the empire that we are living under is built upon facts, because the minority cannot overrule the majority as the first people of the earth. This message right here is to the tribes. Family, I hope y'all understand. This message right here is to the tribes. Let me go ahead and do a roll call to my blood kindred first. But first I want to give honor to Yahweh, Bahashamka Yahweh Shah, Aman. I want to give honor to my mother and my father, my sisters, and my brothers of my nearest of kin. I want to give honor to my brothers and sisters of the southern tribe, Yahabadah. And I want to give honor to our brothers and sisters of the southern tribe, Lawai and Banya Yamayan. I want to give honor to our brothers and sisters of the northern tribe, Aman. And I will name out the northern tribes in your hearing. that is Rawaban, Shamawan, Lawai, Napathalai, Gad, Ashar, Yashashakar, Yawabalan, Apariam, Manasseh, and Dan, who what we say Ethiopian Israelites. All right, so I gave a shout out to all of the family of my nearest of kindred. Now let's go over to the other kindred of Adam. Well, of the family, the Shemitic people of Yashmael. I don't know all y'all names. The Shemitic people in every house wherever you dwell. The Hamitic people of every house and wherever you dwell. And the Yapath and the Yapath people, the nations of the north, wherever you dwell. If you say that you are a rightful inheritor of a country, this message is for you. And if you are scattered in diaspora and think that your only lot is to be under people, this message is for you. All right? If you have your Bible, I want you to go ahead again and open it to Barashayath. We're going to go over this again. Because if we understood it and if we believed it, then we would do it. It wouldn't just be what somebody say. Go ahead and open up your Bible. And make sure you turn your Bible to Barashayath, chapter 10, my bad. Matter of fact, let's go back to, because sometimes you got to go back all the way to the beginning. Let's go to chapter 2. Now right here in Barashayath, chapter 2. You see that? Genesis, Barashayath. They say Bereshit, Barashayath, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus, the Shemayim and the Arats were finished. That's the same word you get for kingdoms, because the people are attached to their land. Thus, the Shemayim and the Arats were finished, and all the host of them. And on the Shabbath Yawam, on the Sabbath day, Alahayim, that's plural, ended his work which he had made. And he rested the Shabbath Yawam from all his work which he had made. And Alahayim blessed the Shabbath Alahayim Barak, the Shabbath Yawam, HaShabbath Yawam, and sanctified it, set it apart. He set that day apart. It's still set apart today. Sanctified it because that in it he had rested from all his work which Alahayim bara, which Alahayim created and bara and made. These are the generations of the Shemayim and the Arats when they were created. So the Arats were created first, before he created Adam. In the day that Yahweh Elohim made the Arats and the Shamayam. And every plant of the field before it was in the Arats, and every herb of the field before it grew. Do you know that in specific places they have specific plants before it grew? For Yahweh Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the Arats. So the Arats were formed before the rain fell on the earth. The Arats were formed before any plants were put in the Arats. And there was not an Adam to till the ground, to form it. But there went up a mist from the Arats and watered the whole face of the earth. We call that morning dew. And Yahweh Elohim bara Adam of the dust of the ground, and breathe. Remember that? Nop, breathe into his nostrils the breath of life. And Adam became a living napash, living soul. Living napash. And Yahweh Elohim, so you could look up that word soul on your time, Yahweh willing. We did it plenty of times before. If Yahweh willing, we'll go over it today. And Yahweh Elohim planted a garden eastward by Adan, eastward in Eden. Ba means in. Adan, Eden. And there he put the Adam whom he had made. I see no monkey, no germ. And out of the ground, out of the Arats, which Yahweh made first, before he made Adam, bara Yahweh Elohim, made Yahweh Elohim, plural, to grow every tree. Every tree is plural, just like Elohim is plural, to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight. And Elohim, and good for food. And the tree of life, also in the midst of the garden. And the tree of the knowledge of Tawab wa Ra, good and evil. And the river and the Yam went out of Adan to water the garden. And from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that it is which compasses the whole land of Havilah. Where is this located, Mashpakah? Who established a kingdom of Havilah? The Ethiopian Cushite, where there is gold. And the gold of that Arats is Tawab, is real gold. There is Bdellium and the onyx stone. What place on the earth has all the resources? And the Sham of the second river, the reputation, the name, the legacy, the memory. The Sham of the second river is Gihon. That's under what they call Ethiopia today. This river flows over to West Africa. In Nigeria. River is Gihon. The same it is that compasses the whole land of Kawash. Like I said, the scripture said, right? Compasses the whole land of Kawash. All of Africa at one time was called Kawash, Ethiopia. Okay? So when they say the whole land of Kawash, it means the whole land of Africa. in today's sense. And the Sham of the third river is another river, is Hedekid, that it is which goeth towards the east of Assyria. That's where the northern tribe of the Igbos used to live. And the fourth river is Euphrates. The fourth Yawam is Euphrates. The first Yam is Euphrates. Yawam means day. The fourth Yam is Euphrates. And Yahweh Elohim took Adam and put him in the garden of Eden to form it, to dress it, and to till it, to keep it up. So who taught the people how to form? And Yahweh Elohim took Adam and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it up and to keep it. And Yahweh Elohim commanded, that's a law, commanded Adam, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but the tree of the knowledge of the knowledge. This was the tree of the knowledge of Tawab, Wa, Ra, and evil. Thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Pastor Kelly did a message on that. Yahweh willing, I'll share that when I'm off of the broadcast. And Yahweh Elohim said, Amar, it is not Tawab that the Adam should be alone. I will make him a help meet for him. And out of the Arats, where they was, this was the Arats of Adad, the Arats that Elohim had first given unto Adam, right? And out of the Arats, Yahweh Elohim formed every beast of the field. Why was he forming the beast of the field? He gonna tell you. And every fowl of the air, every bird, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the Sham thereof. Not what everybody else saying now. What Adam called it, he called the fish Dap. He called the camel Gamal. Okay? Whatever he called it, that's what it was. He called the oxen, the cattle, he called it Alap. That's their real name. And Adam gave Shams. Who did Yahweh give the authority to give a Sham to the cattle? To the cattle. And who was given names as they was cattle? And Adam gave Sham to all the cattle and the fowl of the air, the birds, and every beast of the field. Every beast of the field, all the fowls of the air, and all the cattle. But for Adam, there was not found any help meet for him. So he did not name. So you see here, if they say that our people is cattle, because we were traded and treated like cattle, and we came from Adam, because they say that we was Canaanite, and that's not true. How can you say that we can be sold as cattle, and they should have had the right to name us different names and strip away our identity and memory of ourselves. And Adam gave Sham to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, every bird, and to every beast of the field. You know, the koala and all them, and some of the beasts that eat marijuana, but they don't lock them up for eating marijuana. But an Adam can't eat marijuana or touch it unless they pass legislation. Not saying that I'm saying let's all get high, but I'm telling y'all that you don't have the same rights as animals. But for Adam, that was not found and help mate. All right. So if they saying that Negroes was cattle, then why was they raping them and doing stuff like that and having these mixed babies and all that right there and putting them inside the house and making the field Negroes work out there in the field? And Yahweh spake, and Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. So we see Adam had nothing to do with creation. Adam is a participant. All right. Adam is a part, but he was not the one that formed everything. And Yahweh caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. When you sleep, is you up working? And he took one of the ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And Yahweh and the rib which Yahweh had Elohim had taken from Adam, made he a Asha, and brought her unto the Adam. And we read, I believe it was the beginning of this year, that the rib that Elohim had took it meant the replica. So Elohim took a replica of our, that's what that word means, a replica, a post, a replica. And also the scripture says that the prophet was taken out of the ground, that the prophets, the resting place of the prophets, and that's the same word that they use. You can look it up for yourself. Which that's the holding place. It was called the same place for rib, which Yahweh Elohim had taken from Adam. He took the replica from Adam, and he made a Asha. So Asha was taken from Adam replica, not from no alap, not from no goat. She was taken from Adam as a replica of Adam, and brought her unto Adam. She was a suitable helpmate. And Adam Amar, and Adam said, "Wa Adam Amar," and Adam said, "This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." He didn't say that to the oxen or none of them, but he said this to the replica of him that Elohim had made for him. "This is now bone of my bone and flesh awar of my awar. She shall be called Asha, because Asha was taken out of Ayash, out of husband. Wife was taken out of husband. Female was taken out of male. Therefore shall a Ayash leave his Abba wa Amma, and shall cleave unto his Asha, and they shall be Achad, Awar Achad, one flesh. And they were both naked, because we're not born with clothes. And some say that they didn't have the physical body that we have. Ayash wa, I believe, wa Wa Ayash, Wa Ashaya, and his wife, the male and the female, the husband and his wife, were not ashamed. All right, let's go here. Now, the serpent, the snake, was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh Elohim had bara, had made, and he amar unto Ayash. Khan, yes, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every green tree of the garden? Animals speak to each other. Back in the day, the snake spoke to Asha. Yea, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the Ayash said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the snake said unto Ayash, you shall not surely die. For Elohim, is there animals that talk today? You got the parrots, they can still talk. There's some, they've been showing there's a bird, another bird that talk. I think they call him a mockingbird or something they call him. There's they've been showing that the dolphins can talk. You know, they can talk. They can copy the sounds of whatever they hear. When you first growing up and you listen to your mother and father talk, and you speak what they spoke, are you not doing what that fish did in the ocean, copying what your mother and father said? There are animals that can talk. So it's not impossible for a snake to be able to talk back then. You shall not surely die. For Elohim doth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes, then your understanding, that's what that word means. So when you just look at it in English, we just see eyes, opening up your eyes. But when you look inside of the Abar Lashon, Hebrew language, it says, then your understanding shall be enlightened, open. And you shall be as Elohim, knowing Tawab wa Ra, good and evil. And when the Asha, when the female, the wife, the woman, saw that the tree was Tawab, good food, good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. See? Eyes, wise. Eyes, wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes and the understanding of them both were enlightened, were open. So if your father and your mother, your first father and mother, can have eyes but not see, and ears but not hear, and it's Yahweh that will allow you to get enlightenment as well, where you will yada, good and evil, will know good and evil, be aware of good and evil, and the understanding of them both That's what eyes mean, ayana. And the understanding, they say ayin. The understanding of them both were open. And they, yada, they were acquainted. That's what yada mean, knew. And you can look it up. Make sure you can look it up. Fact check me. And if you don't believe me, there's older videos of me showing you these words. And they, not just Adam, not just Hawa, and they were acquainted that they were naked, that they were bare. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Remember what we studied in the Abar Lashawan, in the Abar Lashan the other day? That this word that was used for clothing meant that they were hiding something from Yahweh that they were ashamed of. And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden. How can the voice of Yahweh walk in the garden? Think about it. In the cool of the day, did Kanaan speak Abar Lashan? Should not we go and look at what he said? What he said? Don't worry. The cool of the day, and Adam and his Asha hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh called unto Adam and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice. I heard your voice. Heard means understood, perceived. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. He was ashamed. It was something he was trying to hide. And I hid myself, the same word that he used for clothing, and hid myself. He was trying to hide. He didn't want to confess it. That's why you cover up your body, because you don't want people to see your shame. And he said, Who told you that you was naked? Look at this. Who told you that you was naked, Adam? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? And Ha-Ayash said unto, and said, Ha-Asha, and the male said, the female whom you gave, and the husband said, the wife whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And here's something, something on your way to learning something. Just because y'all will give you a wife, don't mean that when y'all have a disagreement or something, that y'all, it's time for y'all to break up. Y'all supposed to work through y'all issues. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the wife, that's what female mean in Hebrew, Asha, said unto the woman, which means wife, and female, and woman, what is this that you have done? Did Yahweh lie when he said that she did it too? Yahweh told Adam, say, did you eat of the tree that I told you not to eat? Who told you you was naked? Was Yahweh making false allegation? Was he leading Adam, like leading the jury and all that? Or was he asking him a question in regards to what he did? And Yahweh Elohim said unto the Asha, to the wife, to the female, what is this that thou hast done? And the Asha said, and the wife said, the snake trick me, and I did eat. Now let's see if Yahweh is partial in judgment. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the snake. He didn't just keep hollering at Hawa, hollering at the wife. Then Elohim looked at the snake. This is how you handle situation. And Elohim giving us an example through what really happened in history. And Yahweh called Adam. He called the male first. He said, where you at, Adam? And he said, I heard he was scared because they had broken fellowship. So Elohim called for Adam and asked him, where are you? He said, I was scared because I heard the word. I heard your voice walking in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. I was uncovered, and I hid myself. I was ashamed. And he said to him, who told you you was naked? He asked him what happened. He didn't jump to conclusions and make up a storyline, but he asked him, who told you that you was naked? Adam, have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you not to eat? Yahweh knew what that tree would do. And the Adam said, and the husband said, the wife whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the tree and I did eat. So Adam talking to Yahweh about his wife. And then the wife talked to Yahweh about the snake who tricked her. She didn't look up and blame Adam for what the snake did. So you see how that go? And Yahweh Elohim said unto the wife, what is this that thou hast done? And the wife said, and the Asha said, the snake tricked me. Did she say nothing? Did she tell a tale on Adam? She said, the serpent, the snake beguiled me. He tricked me, and I did eat. I did eat. I ate it. And Yahweh, see, that's how you confess your faults to Yahweh. You acknowledge it, you confess it, you tell him the truth, and you let him work it out. And Yahweh Elohim said unto Ayash, what is this that thou hast done? He didn't say Adam was lying because Adam said it. He didn't say happy wife, happy life. He said to the woman, to the Ayash, because Adam took responsibility for what he did. And he said that the woman you gave to me, she gave me of the tree. Did he lie? And I did eat. And then she said that the snake tricked her. Did she lie? No. And said, so Adam was not tricked, but Hawa was tricked. And she said she did eat. And Yahweh Elohim Amar said unto the snake, because you have done this, who started the ball to roll? Elohim is not partial in judgment. And he said unto the snake, because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle. Did Elohim say your ancestors did it? Shalom, sister. Yeah, it's been a while. And Elohim, and Yahweh Elohim Amar unto the serpent. And that can mean power, my power, or that can mean judge, a head ruler. And Elohim said unto the snake, because when it has a yum on the end, that means there's others rulers, but Elohim is Akkad. And said unto the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle. Did he say because you are more beautiful and more tricky, you are cursed? He judged him for what he did. He judged that old serpent for what he did. And said unto the snake, because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle. Now, do you know that National Geographic did some studies on the snake? And they still have leg bones those leg bones, I believe they fall off at a certain age. Why do the snake can't grow legs? And above every beast of the field, and upon thy belly shalt thou go. So Hashatan used the snake. He used the serpent to do his will. Hashatan used the snake to do his will. And if he could use a snake, listen to this, if he can use Adam and Hawa to do his bidding, who think that it's more impossible for him to use a lesser creature, an animal that Elohim gave Adam and Hawa authority over? So he got his way, but he didn't win the battle. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed above all. Did he say because the snake did this, he is the devil? So you got to understand that Hashatan was in the garden as well. So keep listening. Cursed above all cattle, above all the alap, and above every beast of the field, and upon thy belly shalt thou go. Who was the cattle supposed to be yoked up to as useful in the garden? So when the Adam was cursed, everything else suffered with Adam. When Hawa and Adam ate their fruit, ate of their forbidden knowledge, everything fell under them. And above every beast of the field. So if your fathers commit sins and you is cursed because of the sins of your forefathers in the four corners of the earth, look at what happened in the beginning. Don't we all die? Who can say they can evade death because they don't want to believe that these curses exist? Upon thy belly shalt thou go. This has been since the beginning. And dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So the snake still eat dust. Even now today, I was watching National Geographic, and they were showing how the snake was trying to swallow, I believe it was a snake trying to swallow an animal bigger than him. Unto the Asha he said, I will greatly multiply your size. What did he create the animals from? From the earth, right? And what did they do? What were they formed from? From the Arameans, from the dust, from the ground. So when he got to eat the dust, until he go back to the dust, unto the Ayash. Why was that a punishment for the snake? Do y'all see that? They wasn't killing each other. There are still some animals that live in. There's some fish. I was praying about this to Yahweh while I was watching a National Geographic program on the rainforest, and I saw in the National Geographic program that there is a fish that eat there's some kind of peanut that fall out of the sky, out of the tree, and that fish has a mouth where he could chomp it and eat it, and that fish looked like he big enough to eat another fish, but he eating peanut. There is a whale shark in the water that don't eat meat. So Elohim allow things to happen for our understanding. See, that's why the word said, he said the Arats show you of the glory of Elohim. It show you of his set apartness, his majesty. His handiwork is known through his bara. All right, through his creation. It shall bruise your head. You see that? I will put enmity between you and the Ayash, and between thy seed and her seed. between your offspring and her offspring. What man came by way of a offspring of a woman? Now there are some, so you see that Yahweh told Adam, not Adam, but Abraham to heed his wife and to put out a Hagar and the baby, the son that they had. And he said he was also going to make them a great nation. He said that is the seed of that woman. Well, Yashmael, it was not prophesied that Yashmael would bruise the head of the serpent, but it was prophesied of one that would bruise the head of the snake. Who was that? And it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So the seed of the woman, that is the prophecy right there that Yeshaya was talking about. That behold, a virgin shall give birth to a child, and you shall call his name Amanawal, which is interpreted Allahayim with us. Thy seed of her seed, it shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Because that baby came out of the womb of Mariam. Now, unto Asha, he said, unto the female, unto the wife, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. What a punishment for all. See, if Hawa was not bewitched, and if Adam did not heed his wife and eat of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, which he was forbidden to eat, then all the suffering that Adam and Hawa, that Ayash wa Asha go through with even to the day, would not be happening. But because they ate of the forbidden fruit, which they were forbidden to eat, and their understanding of the knowledge of good and evil was enlightened, none of us will be going through this. Because they ate of it, now we go through it. In sorrow you shall bring forth Banayan, children, and your desire shall be unto your Ayash, and he shall rule over you. He shall be your head. All right. And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your wife, because you listened to your wife and have eaten of the tree which I commanded you, that I gave you a command, Adam, because there's a rank and file here. When I say do something, you do what I say. I don't care what your wife say. I don't care what nobody say. And how many people in the scripture have been punished because Yahweh told them to do something and they didn't do it. There was an elderly man that told the man of Allahayim to lodge with him that night, and the Allahayim told him, no, don't lodge there. Speak what I told you to speak and keep on going. But he listened to a male, an older male. He listened to a Zakwan, a Gadol. He listened to an elder, and he was punished, even though that was another male that was older than him. So we see here Allahayim told Adam, listen to me, don't eat of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which I commanded you that you do not eat. But he still did it, and has eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake, Adam, for your sake, because of you. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat of the herb of the field. of the herb of the field. What grow out of the field? What grow out the field? The animals eat that herb. Did Elohim create that animal to eat a sin? The animals eat the hemp plant. But hey, I'm not trying to tell y'all to light up hemp. I'm telling y'all that the animals still have more rights than you have, Negroes of the field. And the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground, till you go back to the dust, till you return back to the Arats, Adam. For out of it was you taken, for out of the Arats was you taken. For dust you are, and dust you shall return. And Adam called his Asha Sham Hawa. So who named his wife? Adam, Ayash. So who did Yahweh grant to be a leader over his own Ayash, over his own Asha? Ayash. And he called his wife name Hawa. Now somebody else may say it's Eve or Anun or whatever they say. But the original name of Adam wife of Adam Asha is Hawa, because she was the mother of all living. Now, they did some studies of those scrolls of the Timbuktu, and it is a catastrophe because they say a lot of the people that have the scrolls that come from their ancestors can't even read the scrolls because they have been forcefully put in a position to have to learn English and forget about all that old stuff that's supposed to be worthless. And now you go and trying to read what your great grandfather and them wrote. You can't even read it now. And so now you lose the understanding of your ancestors, the understanding of who you are as a person, and you become worse than an animal, because even the animals know who they is, because they still the bluebirds still sleep with the bluebird and still make little bluebirds. Unto Adam also and to his Asha did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them. So Yahweh didn't want to see that. So he put the clothes on them after they prayed to him, and he made a sacrifice for them, and he clothed them with his sacrifice. The first sacrifice was a foreshadow, family. Why would he just waste his time? They had on their leaves and stuff that they had. No, he gave them a proper sacrifice until the original sacrifice should come. All right, a more suitable sacrifice until the perfect sacrifice. My bad, I hit the mic. And Yahweh Elohim said, behold, Ayash, the male, the husband, is become as one of us. Think about this, as one of us. So he has become as Elohim. Think about that. I said you are Elohim. Has become as one of us. To know good, to perceive, Tawab, Wa, Ra. To understand good and evil. You know there was a tree of knowledge in the garden as well. There was a tree of life in the garden as well. I'm sorry. And why would Yahweh be walking through the midst of the garden to teach them every day if he didn't want them to learn anything? Think about it. Lest he put forth his hand, his yad, which means salvation, his yad, and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. If he ate and lived forever in that fallen state, oh my goodness. Therefore Yahweh Elohim sent him forth from the garden of Adon to till the ground. From thence from whence he was taken, to till the Arameans, the earth from whence he was taken, which means the same thing as kingdom. That's what that earth is. The earth is, it belongs to, it means kingdom. It means, it still meant kingdom. It still meant what it meant. And so now let's go, now that we perhaps got a clearer understanding of Arameans and the origin of good and evil to a certain extent, now let us go to Barashayah chapter 10. Now listen at this. Verse 1 of Barashayah chapter 10. I'm going to let it read by itself, and I'm going to pause my mic and come down to the comments with y'all and listen to the word with y'all.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Taras. And the sons of Gomer. Genesis 10. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Taras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. But these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families, in their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah. And Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrozim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim. And Canaan begat Sidon his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born, the children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almadad, and Shalef, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Mael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Baal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their...
So y'all see that the coast of Sephar was first. The first kingdom was ran by Shahar people, the Eber, the Ikbo, the Abar, the Hebrews. It was not ran by everybody on the planet. All right. So now let us go to the next one, family. Gonna go ahead and go to the next one. All right, so let me go ahead and go to the next one in line. This right here, let's let it finish reading out, and you're gonna see that these are the families of the sons of Nach. Listen.
Their families after their tongues, in their lands after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
So when they say nations, the owl, and when you see it says earth, in the earth, Arats, which means kingdom, and Abar. So let us go ahead and go to the next chapter. And those lands belong to the people who Yahweh had given it to. Here we
Genesis
go.
11. And the whole earth was of one language, and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do? And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Now y'all see that he said the people is achad. All right. So when you achad with people, when you one people with people, right? Look at this. Check it out. Now he said Alahayim is achad. Now you got to be made one through Messiah with the Father in order to get back where you need to be. Now let's go back here. And let's let it keep on reading.
Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 35 years, and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years, and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years, and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years, and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Ru lived 32 years, and begat Serug. And Ru lived after he begat Serug 207 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years, and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years, and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years, and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name...
So what land did he say? Let me read this again. Make sure my mic is unmuted. Okay. So right here he say, and Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of Chaldees, in the land of Chad, in the middle of the east. Who is the Chaldeans? Who are Igbo? Who Igbo Chad? What Igbo Chad at? Hebrew Chad. And Haran died before his Abba, Terah. That's the father of Abraham. The brother of Abraham, Haran, died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. That's in the middle of the east. Chad, the Igbo Chad, used to live in the middle of the east. The Igbo Chaldeans, I showed y'all on the map before, the Igbo Chaldeans lived in the middle of the east before. Haran died before his father Terah. That's the father of Abraham, in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abraham and Nahor took them wives. So that's Haran the Eveh, and Terah the Eveh. Eveh means Hebrew. There's Eveh people living in West Africa. Eveh Chad, Eveh Haran, Eveh Lot, Eveh Terah, Eveh Abraham, Eveh Nahor, Eveh Haran. You see that? Haran begot Lot. And Terah in the land of his nativity. So Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abraham and Nahor took them wives, took them females, wives. And Abraham and Nahor, who is Nahor? Nahor. Terah begot Abraham, Nahor, and Haran, their brothers. Their brothers. Yes, brother. Haran, the father of Milcah, the father of Iscah. So in Abraham and Nahor, who are Eveh, who are Igbo, took them wives. These are Abar people. Took them wives. Ivri. You remember quote Ivri in West Africa? They are Ivri. They are Abar people. And Abraham took Nahor, and Abraham and Nahor, took them Asha, took them wives. And the Sham of Abraham's wife was Sarah. So wait a minute. Abraham didn't have to name his wife? Who named? Abraham's wife? Couldn't it be that his wife's father named her Sarai? A sister say Syriam. And Junku says Sira. Was Sarai. And the Sham of Nahor's wife, Milcah. Nahor didn't name his wife Milcah. So did her daddy lose his authority because he was the property of Mr. Jacobson or of Mr. Washington? Of Nahor's wife, Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, the father of Iscah, the father of Milcah, the father of Iscah. So they had to take them for wives. This is the beginning of the earth. So there wasn't no messing around with animals and none of that. So they had to take their sister. I'm just going to lay it out like that. And after the earth was formed how Yahweh wanted it to be, then he put a barrier there. He said, nah, you can't do that. That's it. And Abraham and a whore, so you couldn't marry your nearest of kin anymore. This is the beginning. When you get 2 plants, then you get 4 plants, and then you get 5 plants, and now the plants is getting out of that generation range, and then when it breaking off, it become this section of plants, then that's how it worked. And the Sham of Abraham's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor Syriam, and the name of Nahor wife Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren. She couldn't have babies. She had no child. And Terah took Abram to his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son. And the scripture said that Sarai was Yapah, beautiful. Do that mean that she was Laban? Because it said Yapah, just because people say that white means fair skin? No, white means white. Now, it's your preference if you like white, but that's not what it means. Laban means white. Yapah means beautiful. 2 different words. It's your preference if you like a people that is Laban. It's your preference if you like a person that's Shahar. But just because you like a person that's Shahar, that's dark-skinned, does not mean that that's what Shahar mean. And that mean that it don't mean that that's what Laban mean. Now, at a certain time, there's historical historians that say that back in them days, Shahar was the skin complexion of choice to be called beautiful. But that was still a preference of the tribes. That's just a norm of that day. But Yapah means beautiful. Not Laban, not Shahar, not Hawam, because that is a preference. But when you have a national preference, that's because the nation sees they own as a suitable helpmate for them. And Sarah, his daughter-in-law, and I looked that word up one time, it means princess, his daughter-in-law, his son, Abraham's wife, and Sarah, his daughter. So Haran, his son's son, and Sarah, his daughter-in-law. So who is Sarah? So when he said that Sarah is his sister, did Abraham lie or did he tell the truth? And Sarah, his daughter-in-law, his son, Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldeans to go into the land of Kanaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the latter and the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran, in Igbo land, in Avad, where the Avads lived. Avad, the Igbo, where they lived.
Of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law his son Abram's wife. And they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees, to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran, and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran.
So y'all see that this is scriptural, what we doing today. This is scriptural. This is not made up lies of Negroes running around here claiming that we came from Adam and that we are Igbo, that we are Avad, because even on you see the gate to no return, that's Igbo. And you see in America, the plaque that was set up as a memorial, as a name, the memorial means name, as a memorial for the people that was taken, is Igbo. You see? So we are Igbo. This is not nothing made up. So now let me talk to the African tribes. Y'all name is recorded in the Torah, but there is different translation from different generations. And when you lose the name that your fathers gave you, because people make you think that your legacy, that your inheritance, the things that you could point at your land and say, this land is my land. This is my kingdom. This is my earth that Yahweh gave me as allotment to. When you allow people to erase that knowledge from you, you first stop doing what you're supposed to do in your land. You stop marrying one another. You stop being in unity with what Yahweh gave you to be. You stop tilling the ground like you're supposed to. Other folk put sanctions on your ground, sanctions on your names, sanctions on your learnings, sanctions on your children, sanctions on your husband, sanction on your wife. Step all over your husband. Step all over your rulers. Step all over your kings. All over your people that you go to for counsel. Just step all over that. Take your animals. Hunt a lot of them to extinction. Destroy trying to make your memory of being from Alahayim as an extinct. Now, if you could get to the point where you let go of reality, are you not going to be a faithless people with a life based on fiction and non-belief? And what will happen to you if you died in that state, believing that Messiah does not exist anymore? Believing that who you are and that what he commanded you to do is vanity, useless as dung that came out of the drought, that's supposed to be buried. And if you don't lose it to the point where you might as well just be like the animals and be lawless and naked and run in the wilderness without no guidelines, because if you're not going to listen to sound doctrine, what's the point of making up a false doctrine and falling after that? You might as well, like my pastor used to say, you might as well go all the way. So I'm gonna let Isaiah 41 read one more time. I'll give y'all some time to ask y'all questions or make any statements in the comment section. And then after that, after y'all say y'all piece, one of these days I'll learn how to share this broadcast. I think I sent y'all some links inside of y'all inbox. If you got on Google Chats, I think I sent y'all some links inside of there. If y'all ever want to join on the broadcast, just go through that right there. They'll teach you how to do it and you can come right into my broadcast. But let me go ahead and play this, and then I'm finna allow y'all to gather y'all thoughts and think about what y'all want to write down or give a statement where y'all want me to speak about, or y'all want to expound on together in the comment section, however y'all want to do it. But here we go.
Isaiah 41. Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near, then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings? He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them, and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, the first, and with the last, I am he. The isles saw it, and feared. The ends of the earth were afraid, drew near, and came. They helped every one his neighbor, and every one said to his brother, Be of good courage. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer him that smote the anvil, saying, It is ready for the soldering. And he fastened it with nails, that it should not be moved. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree and the pine, and the box tree together, that they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come. Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooseth you. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come. From the rising of the sun shall he call upon my name. And he shall come upon princes as upon mortar, and as the potter treadeth clay. Who hath declared from the beginning that we may know? and before time that we may say he is righteous? Yea, there is none that showeth, yea, there is none that declareth, yea, there is none that heareth your words. The first shall say to Zion, Behold, behold then, and I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For I beheld, and there was no man, even among them, and there was no counselor that when I asked of them could answer a word. Behold, they are all vanity, their works are nothing, their molten images are wind and confusion. Deuteronomy 32. Give ear, O ye.
All right, Mashbaka, I just got a phone call from my wife, and it seems as if no one has anything to add to or to say. But make sure that if you have anything else that you would like to add, you are free to write it under the comment section after the video is over. And I want to just tell y'all, thank y'all for being patient and commenting and showing me that y'all understand. All right, fam, I got to go. I hope y'all got something out of this right here. Don't forget to give me a like or 100 or something to let me know that y'all appreciate what I tried to do today. And I want to say to you all, Shalom. If I made any errors or anything, you just let me know, and I'll go back and I'll work on that. But my studies, I've been studying. So I want to say shalom to y'all. If you got any questions or whatever, just leave it under the video. Shalom.